1019 Kink, it's Mitch Elliott. It's the virtual KINK Green Room, and I'm very excited to have on the show from the band Beach House. It's Alex and Victoria. Now, Alex is here. Victoria has been delayed just a moment, but I think she's joining us now.
Hi, this is Victoria. I'm now here.
Awesome, Victoria. We are 7 minutes early, so if you're not ready, we don't have to chat yet, but if you're ready, let's get it done.
I mean, I'm always ready.
Good for you. You're both early. My dad taught us growing up, me and my brothers and sisters, that early is on time and on time is late. That was the motto.
It's very, very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
But in my 30 years in radio, I have found that often musicians are not early.
Yeah, I guess that's probably pretty accurate.
But the good ones
but
are.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
The bad ones are on time.
So, are you guys in the same location?
Yes.
And what part of the country or the world are you in?
We're in Baltimore.
Yeah,
Oh, so
we're from Baltimore. We started our band in Baltimore, and we continue to live in Baltimore.
And that was way back in 2004 when you guys started making music together. How have you kept Beach House so relevant for this long? Because that's quite an achievement in the music business.
I feel like that's not in our control totally, because you can't predict how, the universe is going to treat what you make. I think we just feel really lucky that we've somehow still been rotating in people's, stereos. I mean,
But however it happened, it was by no savviness on our end. We've always just literally done what made sense to us, and we're just very lucky to be here, still standing.
Were you guys music majors when you were in college?
Absolutely not.
So Victoria, what was your plan?
I didn't really have a plan. I just thought that, I kind of grew up with art around me, and in a household that supported it and encouraged it. So I always liked film and theater and music, and it, it kind of was always there. So I kept following that, and now I'm here.
And Alex, same question for you. What did you plan to be when you grew up?
No idea. I think we were both probably not willing to accept the options that were available. Like a lot of our generation, it's a slightly entitled perspective, but rather than looking for a good career, I think we were just searching for ourselves, like so many people are, and we were lucky to find it early.
Yeah, in a kind of a subconsciously stubborn way. Like, I think there's a dream there, and I'm going to just keep, following this invisible thread. And it's just really your gut. And then a lot of it is hard work. And then I think a great percentage of it is luck too, Yeah.
But I majored in sciences, but I don't think I ever thought, I'm going to be a scientist,
Interesting. So what is your process for writing a song? Does the music come first, or is it the lyrics?
It depends. Every single one, kind of births itself differently. I mean, but there probably are patterns that are repeated. Like, if I hear something, maybe I hear some words and a melody, or if Alex hears a melody, he might not have words, but he has chord progressions. Sometimes it's like you just sit down and you play the piano, and then all of a sudden you've got something that you think is interesting, and you show it to the other person. It's like hand upon hand.
It's spark first. Whatever creates the spark. It could be anything: the beat, the chords, the melody, the word.
Sometimes it's just like a beat and interesting chords, and it just immediately makes me think of, I hear like a couple words, or you see a scene in your mind and you start to paint the picture. But we've always painted the picture together. And I think that is, it's how we paint our pictures, I guess.
And this is a question that comes up frequently. You're probably so sick of it even being asked, but you two are not linked romantically. You two are just very close friends and professional coworkers, basically, right?
We're like psychotic best friends.
And I've read some interviews where you were free to admit and first to admit you fight often like brothers and sisters.
Yeah, we don't fight often, but when, we have powerful, I would say not powerful disagreements, but when we disagree, it's very intense because it doesn't happen that often. But when it does, something always has to come out of it, and I think sometimes it's a song being finished or something.
I think that it's when you're making something you really care about, there's going to be a lot of intensity. If there's no intensity there's a good chance that someone doesn't care. So I think it's just a byproduct of the intensity of creation and caring a lot.
Some people have kids, and so we don't have kids. We have records, so it's
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about one of your records. Let's talk about Space Song. I know you released it a few years ago, and we've been playing it on one of our specialty shows, our Sunday morning brunch show, and now we're playing it just around the clock on all of our shows, and the response has just been terrific. So what's the song about?
That's...
Well, so that song, like you're asking about writing songs, that song was started on a simple chord progression and with the riff. That was the genesis of the song, which is just the melody that starts the song. And then all of the other parts grew out of that. And what is the song about? I mean, we tend to work in abstraction. So answering that is... It's
different for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and within the song, there's emotions. For us, music is emotional. It's spiritual. It's cosmic. It's trippy. It's psychedelic. So many different things that songs can make us feel and think about. But inside of it, I mean, if you just look at the lyrics, there's clear and sort of simple little symbols. There's heartbreak. There's sorrow. There's a want to escape. There's so many things inside of it, we believe. And so when we're making something and I'm writing lyrics, I'm always looking for something that will feel somewhat universal, like anybody could, relate to it in their own individual way. So, calling it Space Song, sometimes we find titles and then they just fit. Some of my earliest, fondest memories of that song were playing it live, actually. It always felt like it kind of had this thing in it, like you were disappearing into the ether.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of that into it. So yeah, Alex said abstract, but it's not abstract with nothing inside of it. There's a lot of little pieces, and you kind of make what you want, from that. And
it came to that title, Space Song, on its own accord, but it does feel like it has, I think there's an obsession in all of our work from the past and the stuff we're working on now that will be coming out soon, that we are obsessed with the giant order of the universe. These kind of like the big cosmic questions are always rolling through, and I think that song we're addressing that. Where do you sit in the order of existence? Where do you sit? And from the minutia of a romance to the questions of existence. It's funny how they're such a similar question when you think about it.
Yeah. And you mentioned Victoria performing live, and for anyone who's had the opportunity to see Beach House live, the show is likely different than anything you've seen before. Do you always perform as backlit silhouettes?
Our show has evolved from the first time we played a show to where we're at now. In a lot of ways, our live show has evolved to become, I think, more dramatic, more intense, more of an experience. And I think, every time we make a record or start touring, we always bring parts of the past in. But yeah, the last couple of years, our live show really evolved into sort of this silhouetted palette, like a painting, where we would hope that the audience could just have their own intense experiences in sort of the privacy of their own feelings, So the silhouette is really about, we envisioning ourselves as something we're being looked at, it has an effect on the audience. And so if you can look at us and just see like our spirits and our silhouettes, we find that to be really intense and beautiful. It's not about hiding. It's about actually giving something larger to the person who's experiencing what they're hearing, what they're seeing, so that they can really disappear into whatever they want, We
want people to turn their ears on first when they get to the concert.
A lot of people go, "Why are you hiding? Show yourselves." And it's like, it's not that we're not hiding. We're trying to actually give into something so that we can give you something.
But also there are very bright moments throughout the show, but we want those bright moments to be bright moments, right? I see a lot of shows. You get to the first song, everything has already happened.
Right.
And it's like and then by the 30 minutes in, there's nowhere for your brain to go, so we're trying to make a story happen over the 90 to 100 minutes,
And I think there's, we probably use, when we're designing and when we're thinking about our tours, there's theater involved. A lot of our favorite bands and people that, like well-known people have always incorporated sort of more theatrical elements into their shows.
Because otherwise there's no reason to go. Just stay home and listen to the music. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. It's fun that way, and it's really about like not getting too heady about it, because it's still a show, it's entertainment. But we believe that it can still be, we like working on it. We like thinking about how every song is different. And like Alex said, the bright moments are scripted, it's like we want it to be an experience.
We're almost out of time. Is there a plan to head out on tour soon?
Yeah, there are going to be announcements very soon. And
Good.
We hope to tour again.
Yeah, we hope to tour again, and hopefully we can announce it soon. It's just there's a lot of moving. I'm sure you've talked to bands, like it's crazy out there for next year, so there's a lot of figuring out.
Yeah, exactly.
Planning stuff for like 2 years. It's everyone's in line for the future. So, but yeah, we definitely will be touring.
Awesome.
For sure.
Before I let you go, I'll ask my lame pandemic question. Have either of you taken up any hobbies during the lockdown?
Yeah, I mean, not like specific, but I think that a lot of people will share this sentiment. I found a lot of solace in nature and birds, and just Earth is a beautiful thing, and getting outside of your home. I mean, if you could call that a hobby, I think it's just existence. But yeah, definitely reading and studying things that we probably didn't have time for before the pandemic. But I just think, yeah.
But me personally, no, I was just been working on the record we're putting out next year.
Oh yeah, and that too, because I'm also in the band.
Alex, you're so professional.
Yeah.
Final question, since you're in Baltimore, are either of you vegetarians?
Selective. I'm a selective meat eater, so it's like not tons of meat, but like definitely more vegetables than meat.
Are you going to recommend something great we've never heard of?
Well, Baltimore pit beef. I hear so much about Baltimore pit beef.
I think that's definitely a thing. I've never experienced it. It's too much for me, but
yeah, there's a famous pit beef place that's right next to a strip club.
Well, that's a full day's entertainment right there.
Takes a full day to get there too.
And everyone's always like, "That's the best one. Go to the one next to the strip club."
Eat big foods.
Alex, Victoria, thank you so much for taking the time. Truly appreciate it. Stay safe, and we hope to see you here in Portland someday very soon.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to meet you.